Masked metalheads for Trump, take two. Welcome to Masked Metalheads for Trump. I know there's a ton of us out there that, we don't fit into the whole conservative party. We don't fit in with the moderates because we see right through that they're the deep state. But there's a lot of liberals out there that just bash us. We're baby killers, that we have so much blood in our hands over the NRA. I haven't seen any NRA kill anybody, so I don't know where the hell that's coming from. I'm sorry, I had to have notes today. I'm really tired, so if you just bear with me, I'll get there. Over and over, we're called racist anytime that we go against anything that the liberals have to say or do. But, we're not the silent majority, but we're in the silent majority. We're the loud minority. We are mass metalheads. We are the loudest. We have the most to say. Hey, listen, you know what? People sit there and go, oh, that heavy metal, headbanging music. Geez, that. I got a few songs from Slipknot. Love to throw on for you. You tell me if you need a dictionary or not. All right? Mudvayne 2, I believe. And then you got bands like Killswitch Engage. People sitting there like, oh, that sounds like Satan. It's so horrible. It's so evil. It's a Christian metal band that just happens to be heavy, loud, and aggressive. I like it. That's what I grew up on. So, this Masked Metalheads for Trump. This is where we can all get together and talk. And not have to sit there and, feel like I go to a rally and I'm around all these people that have been married for 20 or 30 years. They never smoked a cigarette. They don't know nothing about life. But great people nonetheless, but they're not us. And we need a place for us. Listen, I'm not 100% for what Trump does. The whole death penalty for drug dealers. Really? Really, Trump? 70 years, prohibition has not worked for drugs. In the 30s, everybody realized it wasn't working for alcohol. So why would it work now? Because we're threatening to kill people? We did that before. Because we were threatening to lock up people forever? We did that before. It's not going to. Especially when you tell somebody not to do something, they want to do it. Just a fact. Prohibition will not work. For 70 years, we've been doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different outcome. Isn't that a form of mental retardation? I don't know. To me, I think it is. But, the deep state right now has got this Trojan horse plan of getting as many Muslims in here as possible through the guise of the border down in the South, talking all about, oh, no, it's the South Americans, it's the Central Americans, it's the Mexicans. No, it ain't. Well, yeah, it's that too, but it's not that. It's just getting as many Muslims as we can get in here. Not just, Muslims, somebody who wants to be peaceful and, make a living and whatever. No, we're talking about the type of Muslim that is part of the caliphate that comes over here and they're very well educated. People think, they're stupid, they're naive. These people are very well educated. Everybody's like, I'll take them down, just put them in front of me, I'll kick their ass. They're very highly trained. No, that's not going to happen. Unless you get the jump from behind, you're done. But we're done. Any country that this, I can't call it a religion. Because, they're not guys of a religion, but they're more of a political entity than anything else. But anyone that would sit there and just let their country get overthrown by this, when in their own Quran it says that's what they're doing, and that's what they will do. They don't hide it. See, it's so funny because it's blatantly everywhere. And then you got feminist for Islam? I don't know. Do they realize that they're not allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia? That law might have changed this recently. Are they aware they can't drive in Qatar? They can't drive in Yemen, if that still even exists. I don't want to blow the crap out of each other. The Arab Emirates, they ain't driving. You know, hey, get raped, don't have 4 witnesses, report it, you're going to get stoned to death. You think these kind of laws are what feminists want? A real feminist? No, they're not. We're selling our country. We're selling the country to the highest bidder. And it's been a problem for a long time. So now we get somebody like Trump that says, wait, hold on a second. Tariffs? Wait, you got all these tariffs on us. We don't have any tariffs on you. How the hell is that fair? So he comes in, puts tariffs in, and you've got every pundit in the world saying, hey, wait a second, he's going to start a trade war? Good. Let him start a trade war. Maybe that'll get you to stop buying your pork from China. Maybe that'll stop getting you to buy your steel from China. Maybe that'll stop getting you to buy so much stuff from so many countries that money's going there. And our R&D, research and development, we don't have the money for. They're going to keep bettering and bettering and bettering themselves while we sit there and buy their subpar crap that they do sell, because they sell a lot of that. Do you know what our #1 export to China is? This will blow your mind. Our #1 export to China is garbage. Are you serious? It's freaking garbage. Trump, I'm not on board with the whole, you want to kill drug dealers? Listen, like I said, 70 years, it's the same thing. Prohibition hasn't worked. But a lot of people don't realize the whole concept of drugs. You've got these people that are so book smart when it comes to drugs that they are completely oblivious. And people that are talking to them they have no respect for them. They see right through it. They know nothing except for what somebody wrote down in a book for them. I mean, to get help, especially on the opiate end, it's next to impossible. You've got these methadone clinics. They want to control all of your life. You've got to be there every day to get dosed, for a very long time. If you're on any other meds, there's a good chance you can never get take-homes. They want you there twice a week for another hour a day, one for a group meeting, one for a counseling meeting. And over, they've been told, and I've seen it, people say, this is not working for me. I can't do this. I got to work. I got to better my life. I got to do this. I got to do that. I had to be there for over 2 years. And I've seen a few people die because they got kicked out of the clinic for one reason or another. Or they left for one reason or another. But mine was for meds. I broke my collarbone, got hit by a truck, and here I am. Thought everything was fine. Got off the pain meds. So proud of myself. Weaned down. Doctor got me off way too quick. And 8 years being on pain meds, very, very, very high milligrams, 20 to 40 milligrams a day. It doesn't take 3 months to wean down. But because of the laws that have been put in place, I went through hell. I went through a nightmare. You couldn't believe it. I had to go to the methadone clinic. And then you sit there and go in line with some of these people. Don't get me wrong, some of these people are great. I've met some awesome people there that are kind of in the same boat as me. But to sit there and have these people talk to you like you're a junkie all day long, when it's my doctor gave me these. And he had no other choice. We really had no other choice. 3, 4 surgeries later. President Trump, I just hope somehow you see this and you watch this, because I know for a fact how to destroy this epidemic, this pandemic. This is not an epidemic. This is a pandemic. It's going on over in Europe too. You know it. I know it. I really didn't think you were going to win. And the first day I heard you say, hey, I'm running for president. You know, I thought it was a PR stunt. You know, I was like, hey, good for him, PR stunt. This guy's got it. He's a good marketer. But I listened to you the second day. You said everything I thought for many, many years. And a lot of people started bringing to my attention, that you don't do good in Massachusetts because it's a little freaking loony nut job place. And I started realizing and started looking at things and saying, you know, maybe they're right, maybe they're right. But I dismissed it. So, I live at this house in, we'll just say, a city just outside of Boston. You know, not a suburb, but a suburb, for lack of a better thing to say. And in this city, it's a very diverse city. I moved there, me and my fiance. There was only one other white person, not couple, person that lived in the neighborhood. I don't care, that don't bother me. And I'd say about a few weeks, maybe a month after we moved in there, we were told we were too white for the neighborhood and we got to pack up and go. What? Are you serious? If I ever said that to a race, I get killed. They would expect to get killed. You know, I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, you're just not black enough. I'm like, not black enough. You like Trump, man. I was like, yeah, so what is the plan? I got 4 other friends that are black. 3 of them love Trump. 1 of them don't. Can't get through to her, but maybe one day. And it was only a matter of time before I got jumped coming out of my house by my neighbors for being a white Trump supporter. Now, if that isn't bad enough, and that is bad enough, I leave, you know, I get in the car, you know, I took 2 handfuls of rocks to get up as I'm getting short-footed, one shot after the other. I got them disorientated. I jumped in the car. Me and my fiance went to the police station. I got there, thought everything was great. Told him the whole entire story. Didn't leave anything out here. Told him I threw the rocks, you know, to get away, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, really? He goes, listen, I'm going to go down there right now. I'm going to see who I can talk to, get a report, and let's see who we get in jail today. I was like, great, thank you. I don't want anyone to go to jail. I don't want this to happen. I fear for my girlfriend. She's 5 feet tall and about 96 pounds. I want nothing to happen to her. So as I'm walking out, like an idiot, I said, you know why this happened? He goes, no, why? I go, because I'm a Trump supporter. No, I said, I'm a white Trump supporter. Because they don't like white Trump supporters in that whole entire building. And he says, you're a Trump supporter? He didn't say white. He just said, you're a Trump supporter? I go, yeah. And right in front of my fiance, he said, turn around. I go, for what? He goes, for being a Trump supporter. He goes, you're under arrest. I got arrested for that. Of course, short time after, every time I went to court, I said, I'm going to get the media here. They're going to know I was arrested for being a Trump supporter. All right, well, I got out of that. Not bad. I get hurt on the job. I was out of work until, from last June, even now. I finally got compensated a few months ago. But I was out. And I was out for, they knew I got hurt. But I don't doubt that wearing that Trump hat had a lot to do with the decision to not pay me. You know, because before that, I've been doing what I do for over 20 years. I'm really good at it. I do it at the corporate level. I know you see me here like this, and I pick on suits all the time, but, you know, I've worked in hotels from suit and tie. You know, I have no problem putting an Armani or a Versace on. Yeah, like the old school. But I just couldn't believe that it didn't matter. You know, it didn't, all it mattered was that I was a Trump supporter. And that if I'm a Trump supporter, I can be arrested. Luckily, they were afraid of the media. But like I said, it didn't stop there. Because when getting hurt, before that, we got the worst jobs. Like I said, I've been doing this for 20. My fiance has been apprenticing for 7, 8 years, going on 8 years now. She's awesome, one of the best workers. I tell you, she works circles around most of the men in my field. And I will tell you why. Because a lot of them are liberal loonies. Yeah, so there's a few of them there that say, hey, I'm a libertarian. Yeah, what? You're a libertarian with all Democratic views? Crazy. But I lost a lot of friends to heroin or fentanyl. You know, I lost a lot of people. And before this, when it was just the pain meds, I didn't know anybody. One person. I had a friend whose kid got into the oxycodones, and that was it. But it wasn't people dropping the way it's been dropping. You know, I had a support group. There was 35 of us at one time in the support group. There was only 2 rules in the support group. 1, you have to have an active script. 2, they can't sell or trade your scripts. These are for people who really need somebody to talk to, because you never know what's going on with doctors, especially towards the end there. I mean, everybody's getting urine. They're tweaking these machines, so the machines it'd be a false positive. I came up for a false positive for PCP. We found out it was tramadol. It's made with embalming fluid. So time goes by. I get off him. I wanted to be off him. No matter how much pain I was in, I wanted to be off him before this last accident. Well, I'm starting to see 60, 70, 80-year-old women shooting heroin that never did a drug in their life. They never even smoked a joint or even had a drink. They're like you, drunk. Just like you. They don't want nothing. Well, you know, when you're on pain meds that long, whether it's cancer, whether it's some kind of bone issue, whether it's just an accident, what are you going to do? You know, there's nothing else. There's nothing else that's going to take that kind of pain away. And trust me, I don't care who you are. Enough pain, it drives you suicidal. I don't want to die. I love life, you know, and I want to take my life to the next level. But I offer to do whatever I could possibly do to help this administration get rid of this epidemic in this country. You got a bunch of people talking to you that know nothing about drugs. You know, they know nothing about the drug culture. They know nothing of what it feels like to come off, what it feels like to go on. I mean, in the 80s and 90s, we were called Generation X for a reason. And, you know, I did a lot of partying. I couldn't get a job. It took me so long to get a job. But eventually, I got a job. I got a job at Harvard University washing dishes. Making 9-something an hour back in 1990, 91. That's great money. I didn't care if it was washing dishes. I didn't care what it is, as long as I get a job. But I got really messed up with a bunch of things, and just my environment sucked. Now here today, my environment's great. I mean, I have a beautiful fiancée. She does some modeling on the side. You know, you and I have a lot in common, Trump. She's a little younger than me. She loves to model as well. I don't know, you know, how many people must send you videos, you must see reports or whatever. And, you know, I would rather you spend your time like you did with that kid there. You know, he may be passing, you know, he's just really sick. You know, I mean, of course, I'd rather you spend your time like that. You know, and I just want to try to save people's lives. And I do not see these methadone clinics doing it. These methadone clinics, yeah, I mean, they're a godsend for a lot of people. The amount of sickness, you get just as many people killed. You know, I believe it was Jeff Sessions, if not it was you, Trump, that said, you know, these methadone clinics is what's keeping people on drugs. And it is, it's keeping people on drugs, especially because they know that, you know, they take it as a big joke because they have to go there every day. It's not like they got a bunch of, you know, meds and they, oh, I can monitor this and I don't have to listen to somebody sit there and tell me how horrible of a person I am because they have an opiate addiction, you know. And a lot of, you know, since the $6 billion that you've allocated to this epidemic, pandemic. Now every one of them shooting to get all their T's crossed and their I's dotted on, they go to all these groups and it works. And if for a second they don't want you, you're not going to make it in a group or something like that, they get you out of there to still keep them stats up. It's pathetic. I live 33 miles away from the clinic. 33 miles away from the clinic. And my insurance, I got mass out after I got hurt from my last accident. So they paid for that, right? Do you know it's like a $400 a day ride each, both for me and my fiance? Do you have any idea what that's doing to the insurance? Because it's not just me and her. I see at least 40 of those rides. So I only do 40 times 800. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars. It's just, you know, it blows my mind. I just cannot understand how we can keep letting this go on. You know, and I mean, it's only a matter of time, Trump, before the deep state is going to come in and take you out. And I will promise you this. Me and anybody that can stand and take a post, we will do everything we can to defend the integrity of this country, to what our forefathers laid down in our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. We will stand and defend it. And I don't know, liberals don't like guns from what I hear, so I don't know how much they're going to do. But I'm more worried about a deep state. I'm more worried about some stuff that I've seen Obama do and say. I'm worried about the United Nations. These are the things that I worry about. I don't worry about just my wallet. I'm not a materialistic person. As long as I got food in that fridge, and I do, as long as my girl's taken care of, and she is, I got a nice will. I'm about to buy a house, foreclosure, don't have any real money to buy the real house I want. But I got a nice car from her, 2014. You know, I'm doing everything I can, you know, going back to work, hopefully higher. I want to go from doing event technologies to project management of event technologies, but I'm going to sit here and I'm going to get the word out of what it is for this country to turn to liberalism, to turn to socialism. You know, this millions of people have died over socialism. You know, and you're going to sit here and tell me that Trump's a horrible president and he's killing people? Your heroes have killed millions. Look at Stalin. Forget Putin. Look at Stalin. It just blows my mind. Let me see. I had some other stuff here I wanted to talk about. Oh. You know, like I said, like I was telling you, the main reason is we want to get a bunch of us together that are not the typical Trump supporters. That, you know, they can get together, we can talk. I mean, I don't know how many times both me and my fiance feel so alone because we don't know who we can talk to. And then we can, you know, it's an older person or it's a person that, you know, it's just not from where we're from. We can relate well and stuff, but we want that group, the group of us that knows what the hell we're talking about. So, oh, that's funny. I must have lost that page. But we're here, and we're not going anywhere. And mass metalheads for Trump. We're going to start doing some charity work. As you can see here on my table here. I'm going to pick it up for you guys. This is one of the plastic models. You go in a hobby shop, you buy it. Nice and close. And yes, it's all one color when I buy it. And I paint everything. I put it together, paint everything. Well, my fiance and I thought, I remember going back and saying, wow, you know, as a kid, I didn't have a lot. And, you know, my father left. My grandfather would buy me models. And I loved them, you know. Couldn't paint them nearly as good as I could paint them now. I can make replicas out of them, but it brought a peace of mind that nothing else would have, except for being with my grandfather and doing that. So her and I want to give back. We live in the Worcester County of Massachusetts. So any I don't care if it's a burn Shriners, developmentally challenged. I mean, they have to be able to take a paintbrush or anything, but you know, I don't care what their ailment is. Personally, runaways and foster home type, I'd like to do that the most because that's my life growing up. And I started running away at 14 with a horrible, horrible life. You know, you got a lot of people who sit there and say, you know, anybody can be rich, you know, if it's your environment, you put yourself there. It's not true. You're born into it. You know, getting yourself out of there, yeah, that's up to you. That's up to your integrity. That's up to who you are. And that's up to whether or not you even want to. You know, I grew up in the projects, you know, and a project where, you know, 10 years ago I look back, I said, wow, I bet you every one of them guys down there are either dead or in jail. There's a couple of dead, sure. Might be a couple in jail. But some of the people that I thought were the worst spun their life around. They got Christ in their life. They got, you know, they own businesses. They live in, you know, down south. They're doing great. It's so good to hear from them, you know, and I've contacted a lot of people, and I've been friends with a lot of people that I never thought, you know, even my bullies, you know, and that was another thing her and I have been talking about. That would be the second, you know, we'd love to work with foster kids or homeless kids. And if not, we'd like to work with kids being bullied, because also her and I both went through that too. Or kids that are very, very hungry. She went through that. And I mean, like I said, me and my mom were extremely poor, but, you know, my mom was very resourceful. We want to make a difference. So I got her at work recently, and if we have a GoFundMe page put up, and I'm gonna start before I even put it's up there now, but before I start taking money to buy these models and some paints. As you can see over here, I got some paintbrushes and stuff like that. I got most of the stuff put away. But before, you know, we're gonna ask anybody to contribute to it. We're gonna buy and do one of these ourselves, because, you know, I gotta run another $30,000 that I didn't think I was getting, and I want to give that back. I'd like to invest it too, but I like to give it back at the same time. And maybe I can't invest it, but I can definitely give some of that back. I can definitely make some kids happy, or, you know, whatever. Putting these planes together. My fiance, she don't let her fool you. She loves doing model cars. Me, I can't do model cars because, sure as shit, her details are great. Mine, yeah, if I can camouflage it. But we're going to do whatever we can to get you elected again, 2020 Trump. But you gotta do something about the drug laws. And corruption doesn't start all the way up to the top where you are. It starts down here. If you only knew the corruption I see on a daily basis from being poor, the police, the judicial system, the prisons, it would blow your mind. They're not going to show you that. You're rich. You're Donald Trump. They don't want you to see that. We got to do something with the judicial system. First, the judicial system. Before we even get to the prison system, the judicial system. I'm sorry, we're putting people in jail for non-violent crimes that they didn't go and steal something or ruin somebody's life and just made some stupid mistake, and they're going to jail for it, maybe losing their house, maybe losing their kids. We are destroying so many lives. Listen, we roll the world's 20% of the world's incarcerated population. Well, wait, we all, yeah, but we only have 5% of the world population. But we have 20% of the world's incarcerated population. I think it's actually 25% now. It just went up this year, if I'm not mistaken. There's something wrong. Then we got prisons for profit. Nobody should be profiting off somebody's misery like that. And then sending, inmates away so that parents can't go 800 miles to visit them. There's a lot of criminals out there that are the ultimate shitbags. I wouldn't give them the time of day. And then there's a bunch just had a tough break. Hey, listen, I live in Massachusetts. I live in the most liberal, loony, nut job place in the world. So many times I've gotten arrested for doing absolutely nothing wrong. Shoot, I'll give you an example. I had my door kicked in. I wasn't even home. I had no argument or nothing. I'm a chronic pain sufferer, listening to some of what I said. And I had a ride coming that was going to be extremely late. I thought I was going to miss my appointment. So I punched. I have a picture. It's got that glass behind it. And I punched it. My fiance, she jumped. She's like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I got to get out of the house. I'm taking a walk." So I leave. Almost a half hour later, the cops come. They knock on the door. She opens it a crack. And they say, "We would like to talk to your fiance." Well, he's not here. Well, what was the disturbance? There's no disturbance. She said this twice. They opened again. They knocked again. She opened, just a crack. There's no disturbance. He's not here. You need to leave me alone. You need to leave my house. They kicked in my door for no reason. We weren't fighting or anything. There was no big commotion. Literally, it took me all of about 6 seconds to punch that wall and walk out my door. If I can't punch a wall in my own house and make a little noise in my own house, broad daylight, might I ask, this is like 3 in the afternoon, 2, 3 in the afternoon, then when did I stop living in America? So they come, they do their investigation, and they tell my fiance that she should go to court, get a restraining order, and tell them that I'm abusive. She's screaming, "Get the F out of my house." We had a little argument over money because, 7 months I waited to get compensated for workman's comp. And because I really feel, because I was a Trump supporter, no, they didn't want to go and do it. But I went a long time. We went with nothing, We didn't steal. We didn't sell drugs. We little hustles here and there. We made it by. We don't owe a ton of money. Kind of owe some electric and actually rent's caught out. But I don't know if I can go back to work now. I don't know if I'm going to get blackballed. Why? Because I'm a Trump supporter. It's just pathetic, It just blows my mind. I honestly don't know what to do. But this is what I want to do. I want to sit here, run mass metalheads for Trump, and get something going. Because listen, these midterms come up. People are going to sit on their ass, thinking, Trump's got it. Nobody's going to listen to these Democrats. These Democrats are well-financed. They're very grassrooted, too. They know what they are doing. As Republicans, as people who just love our country, we need to get together. Whatever it takes. Legally, nonviolent, I mean that. We need to get there. We need to make sure that we keep both the House and the Senate. Because if we lose the House and Senate, forget it. They're going to impeach Trump. A whole entire civil war will start. And your bread and circus is going away. Paper, currency, bye-bye. You got some people trying to buy an awful lot of Bitcoin right now in silver. That's going to skyrocket too. It's all going to happen unless we do something about it. And we need to do something about it now, before it is too late. We need to mobilize now. You got these people, they're mobilizing these marches, and they're making it look like that the majority feels this way. The majority does not feel this way, by any way, shape, means, or form. You know, I mean, even here in Massachusetts, where I'm surrounded by liberal loonies all day long, you know, luckily up where I live, he won, he should have won this county, because he didn't win the county, but he should have. We'll go back to, you know, crooked voting machines or whatever. I want to work for Trump doing this. I got a GoFundMe page. I'm going to, you know, write out everything that we're going to do, what we need funds for. Mike Michelina, she's going to be coming on my show, my fiance, very shortly. Not today, but soon. And she's going to be helping me out with a lot of things. She's very, very smart with this stuff. So I know she wants to do the model thing with me for doing that. We'll do a couple other money raises, but I also want to do a lot of grassroots on finding out maybe some of these Republicans and getting them, you know, getting them in. I ain't ever will never get somebody like Charlie Baker in. You know what? I almost wanted a Republican to go and take him out. Not take him out in a bad way. I mean, take him out of office. What's he, governor? He can't really do much anyway. Let him go. But yeah, I don't want any rhinos in, you know. And I tell you, out of any politician, because Trump, you're not a politician, and of course you're on the top of my list. But my favorite politician is one not that just says what he, you know, wants. He does it too. Trey Gowdy's leaving. Why? For term limits. He's like, that's it. You know, how am I going to keep serving the people? I'm only going to serve myself. But he's not that way. You know, I mean, we need that special counsel. Trey Gowdy knows it. Jim Jordan knows it. We all know it. Nunes knows it. The evidence is right there. It's sitting right there. Everybody sees it. But what do? We get a special counsel on Trump on a fake dossier. Then it's proven to be a fake dossier. And then he gets threatened that if he fires Mueller, all hell will break loose. But we know Clinton and Uranium One happened. We know that for a fact. We know Clinton cash coming from Saudi Arabia. That was for buying for political favors once she got in office. We know that. You know, she had 4 people killed in Benghazi. Anybody that believes anything different is a freaking moron. Oh, God, where else did I go? What's her name, man? Oh, screw it. Skip the name. You know what? Get me in perjury or slander or whatever it is. But I'm going to get all the proof. I'm going to do as much investigating journalism as I can. But Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have made it many a times to sex island. Not so much Hillary as Bill. But nobody's saying anything. And this needs to come out. What happened there with that New York losing his mind, thinking it was all happening in that restaurant, you know, obviously it wasn't. But that guy had some truth of something somewhere along the way, because this more people are talking about it. There's a lot of people talking about it, you know. And I mean, sex island, really? We need to do something. Look at Podesta's emails. Look at supposedly those emails. It's all about Hillary Clinton going to sex island the last couple of times. You know, how true it is, I don't know. But I think it's what